What is happening with Goosebumps? Are the books being censored, banned, or what? Alright, let's back up. First, what's going on? So on March 3rd, 2023, a news site called The Times published an article saying that Goosebumps was being censored. The changes mainly revolved around weight and mental health. I'll give you a quick example. In Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns, one of the antagonists is named Lee. In the original 1996 book, the description of Lee is he's tall and good-looking, with dark brown eyes and a great, warm smile. Lee is African-American, and he sort of struts when he walks and acts real cool, like the rappers on MTV videos. Now the description has been changed to say Lee is tall and good-looking with brown skin, dark brown eyes, and a great warm smile. He sort of struts when he walks and acts real cool. Just don't tell anyone that Lee was changed to a white character in the TV episode. Anyways, in addition to that, references to characters being overweight are changed. Rather than people being fat, they're just big. Other Goosebumps books have been changed as well, but this is generally the kind of changes that have been made. Anyways, the Times also reported that, unlike other books that have been altered, R.L. Stine himself was making the changes. Regardless of where you stand, I think everyone will agree having the original author make the changes is better. But then the man himself responded. Stine replied to a tweet and said the news about Goosebumps being altered was not true, and he had never made any changes to his stories. So, what's happening? Are the Goosebumps books being changed, or are they not? Well, they are, but R.L. Stine is not making the changes. Scholastic is heading up the changes, and it's also worth adding that this began in 2018. I'm still not exactly sure why it's being reported on now, but whatever. Anyways, Scholastic eventually responded and said, Scholastic takes its responsibility seriously to continue bringing this classic adolescent brand to each new generation. When reissuing titles several years ago, Scholastic reviewed the text to keep the language current and avoid imagery that could negatively impact a young person's view of themselves today, with a particular focus on mental health. As far as we know right now, it's mainly just the original Goosebumps book series and a few Series 2000 books that have been altered. To me, it's mostly whatever, but there's one change I don't like, and that's in Bride of the Living Dummy. In the climax of the story, it looks like Slappy and Mary Ellen are going to work together and make Jillian, the main character, their slave. However, Slappy ends up turning on Mary Ellen. In the original book, Slappy punches Mary Ellen in the face and knocks her down and starts kicking her. In the revised version of the book, Slappy just makes a gesture and Mary Ellen crumbles to the floor. I guess it's supposed to be a spell or something. In any case, it's a pretty bad spell because Mary Ellen gets back up not long after and starts fighting Slappy. Of course, that's because in the original story, Slappy never used a spell or anything. Maybe it's nitpicking, but one of the things I liked about the original 90s Slappy was that he didn't have that many magical powers. For the most part, he was just an evil ventriloquist doll that came to life, which is why you'd have to use his fists to fight. Slappy having spells and magical powers is a more recent thing. I don't hate that Slappy has magical powers at all. I actually like it. But again, I'd rather they don't make adjustments like this to the character. This change also arguably opens up some plot holes. Early in The Bride of the Living Dummy, Slappy is arguing with Jimmy O. James, Slappy's puppeteer. Jimmy says he has to stop this, but before he can do anything, Slappy slaps him. If Slappy had a spell to make someone unconscious, why wouldn't he use that? Wouldn't it have been more effective? Again, maybe I'm just being nitpicky. From what I've seen, there haven't been any changes made to any of the Goosebumps books that have altered the story. Were these changes needed in the first place? Judging by the response, the answer is no, but who knows? Maybe these changes allow someone to give Goosebumps a try, or a parent is now willing to let their kid read one of the books. In any case, the one thing I hope Scholastic does at some point is include the original unedited books as an option. That way, readers can make the decision for themselves. Ironically, this isn't the first time Goosebumps has fallen into controversy. A school once tried to ban the entire series. To find out what happened, watch the video on screen.